welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be removing the front fender, so I thought I'll walk you through the process. I haven't found any videos out there on how to do it, so I'm going to walk you through how I do it. Don't mind the green tape on here. Well, it could be useful for you, but actually it's for another project, so why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because that project that's tied to this green tape will be coming up, and maybe you want to catch that video or something special, a nice modification that I'm going to enjoy. But also it could be useful because what I did was I wiped it down with rubbing alcohol, put some painter's tape on, and you see these pencil marks. So this right here will help me to, when I put it back on, the fender back on, to make sure that I align it properly. So as long as those lines line up, I know I'm lining everything up properly. So a nice little trick there. Let's get started. Oh, before we get started, you may want to go ahead and turn your wheel out like this, because this will help you out. It will be much easier if you have your wheel off and your car jacked up on this side, but not necessary. It'll just make it easier. All right, so after you've removed all your plastic panels from over here, now we're going to have access to some of our bolts. We have 1, 2, 3 that we're going to remove from up top over here. And 4. And then there's going to be 1 behind this rubber piece here, if you're able to see that. Let's see if I can get it. Oops. I guess I got to get a replacement one of those. There it is right there. It's usually flexible. And then there's going to be one in the door that is right, gotta swing it in a little bit. Here we go, right up to the top here. Hopefully you can see that. That one right here. There is another one too, that is going to be, it's actually going to be, the only nut is going to have to be accessed through this panel right here. And then there are 2 behind here, 2 bolts behind here that has to come out. And then any of the little push panels up in here. And I think that would be all of them. Oh, and once this is out over here, once we slide this out, the bumper out, there's going to be 2 bolts up underneath that has to come out. And if there's any others, I'll call them out to you, okay? All right, so with the hood up, the first thing we want to do to remove the front headlight, we're going to want to remove these 2 plugs right here, or really just this plug right here. This one is for the grill, so just this plug. And this is going to give us access to a bolt back here, but we're also going to want to swing this out here so it's a bolt up in there. So once this is swung out and this is removed, we already have access to that 1 bolt. Then we're going to have access to the 1 bolt back here. We're going to have access to the 1 bolt down there. And then we'll be able to take it out and change the bulb. All right, so what we have initially here is a thing for these little plugs to be able to get it out of there without damaging them. All right, that's 1 out. You're going to want this bolt out right here. And now what we want is to remove this panel right here, the part of the bumper. We don't want to take the bumper off, we just want to be able to swing it out to have access to what's behind it. So you want to pull the liner back. you're going to have a couple of those, one of those panel plugs for your liner. All right, we'll do that, get that out of the way. And then there's a bolt underneath that you want to have removed. Everything should be 10 millimeter. All right, there we go. Got that out. At this point, now we should be able to take this and swing that out. All right, so now that we are able to swing this out, and we're able to also swing this out over here, we'll have access to the remaining bolts. There's one down here, and we're going to get that by taking this here, take the extension off, and then just put it in there. Be careful not to hit your headlight and damage it in any way. Right, one nut. All right, so what I will do, I will swing this out a little bit, and that will give me access to it right here. Do the rest by hand. And at that point, you have all of the nuts out and bolts out. You should be able to just slide her out. Go. And then you have a plug at the bottom. There's usually a tab on here you slide up. Once you slide that white tab up, then you're able to push this down and unplug this. All right, so now that I've removed the headlight, which took care of one of the bolts, now I have 3 more I need to remove. Now that I got those 3 out, now I want to do the one behind that rubber piece that I showed you earlier. All right, next what we want to do, we want to tackle these two right here, not this one. You see this bracket right here? This bracket right here is all part of your fender. It's easy to think that the fender's in down here and think you have to take these out, but no, this bracket is part of your fender. So you want to remove these two right here. These nuts don't come out. So you have to go from the bottom where the bolt is at and remove the two bolts from the bottom to disconnect this. But in order to get access to that, there's a plastic piece beneath here, right here, that is connected to this over here. In order to get that out of there, we have to remove this one right here, all right? And we'll be able to get that right from the outside. Remove that, and then we can get that plastic piece off. I was able to move the plastic piece. And now I have access to those two bolts underneath. Take my extension off. I need my extension to not hit this bracket. That's two. And so now we're going to move to the inside door and remove the one bolt from in there. This one right up here up top. All right, so at this point, I believe we only have 3 more left. And there's going to be one here that we access through here and 2 down here. We want to do this one last because if I take this one out first, the fender's probably going to want to try to bend outward. So we'll do these at the bottom first. And these are probably the most painful, the worst ones to have to deal with. All right. So the push pin is already out over here. And what it is right here, between here and here, there are 2 plastic push-in pins, hard pins. They're yellow. Here's a piece from when I did the other side. I just go and break them off because it's quicker, and they only cost like $1 a piece to replace. So from the auto parts store. So I'm just going to break those off instead of trying to get them out. Otherwise, I'll spend an hour trying to get it, where I can reduce my work by just breaking them, and then I can bend this back, which to some degree, which will give me access, or bend this out right here, which will allow me to get access to the 2 last bolts up underneath. All right. Now, if any of you guys know an easier way to do this, please put it down in the comments section, because that would be appreciated by everyone. All right, like the first yellow one, you can see from here, from this way, the back of it, and the other one you can actually see through this doorway, each of the 2 yellow plastic pins. So I just go in with my flathead, get in there and break off the 2 tabs that prevent it from sliding down. There's one. That's done. Let's see if I can get the other one. See how quick that was. And the other one is right through here. Let's see if I can get it. That's one part. Alright, that's the other part. So those 2 push pins are taken care of. They won't stop us. Now I can pull this back, probably a bit more. See that? And now I can get access using my box end ratchet to the 2 bolts underneath. Alright, pull it back. Get my ratchet on it. And get the other one. All right, now that we have the 2 bolts out from down here, now we're gonna go behind the liner. It looks like we have 1 push pin that we need to pull out from over here. Go. Save those. And now we should be able to get behind there and access the 1 nut that's back here. We're going to need our extensions and our 10mm. Getting a little dark out here, so I'm going to bring out a little light to help me. You look back behind here to see if you guys can see it or not. It's up there. There it is, right there. That's it. All right, got a loosen that. Don't have to take it all the way off, just gotta loosen it, it looks like. And then it should be able to slide out. Battery's low on it. There we go. And you only have to unscrew it a little bit. You don't have to take it all the way off because it's like a U-shaped slit in there. I think that's probably more than enough right there. All right. Hopefully we got everything. Let's give it a try. There's one of those push pins up here. Let me get that. All right. Opening the door may help. There we go. So that's how you remove the fender on your Cadillac CTS. Hey, so if you guys like, definitely hit that like button and hit that subscribe button because I have a lot of other YouTube videos out there working on my Cadillac CTS, and I have another big project coming down the pipeline that I think you guys may enjoy watching. So please hit that subscribe button and follow along. Thanks for joining.